Okay, yes, I'm doing another tag video. I don't want to hear anything about it. Okay, so this is the fantasy fun tag. Because I primarily read fantasy, I thought this would be a fun one to do. And also, I didn't finish the outline for the other video I'm doing, which will be posted on Wednesday and will be much more complex. So I was like, I'm just going to do this fun one today. Question number 1. What fantasy series would you want to be a part of? And there are stipulations to this. I guess you can't gain any powers while you're there. You don't go in with anything special. You go as you, and anything that you do has to be learned reasonably by you in that world. So Elliot Brooks actually answered this similarly to me, and I think it's really cool that she did, but my answer is going to be the world of Final Fantasy X and X-2. Final Fantasy as a series would be tough to say because it's changed so much, and I do love so many different things about every version, so I'm going to say probably 10 and X-2. In the world, it's called Spira. It's super diverse. Every area has a different terrain, has a different type of people, has different religious customs, has different cultures, different food, etc. And I think that's really, really cool. It's the only place I could ride a chocobo in the Calm Lands, preferably. Mount Gagazet would be like a super cool place to hike. And of course, I'd want to see Xanarkand in both 10 and X-2 forms before and after disaster. And I think it would be really cool since I can't really gain any powers while I'm there. And I don't know if I would really feel like I need to. I would want to be like a tour guide, or I would want to hunt for spheres in Xanarkand. Question number 2. What kind of fantasy being would you want to be? And it stipulates that this could be like a humanoid or not. But I would definitely have to say I would be a Yoshi from Mario. There's no explanation for this. I think I embody a Yoshi, but I thought really long and hard about this, and I think being a Yoshi would be the most fun. Question number 3, living your life, would you rather have magical powers or have a magical creature? And my answer was I've always wanted a demon, but I always thought it would be really cool to have like a cat buddy with me. I think it would take the form of like an all-white cat. But short-haired and not evil. And yeah, when I read his Dark Materials when I was about 10, that idea really stuck with me. I think a cat would be the thing that I relate to the most. What that cat would want to take form as, I don't know, but that's what I would want it to be. Question number 4, who is your favorite fictional dragon? And obviously, most dragons are fictional, so I thought that was a weird way to word the question where I got it. But whatever. I think this is another one that I had to think long and hard about. But there aren't many dragons that I've read who are personable, ones who you spend a lot of time with and learn who they are. We usually get dragons that are these big, majestic, scary beasts that we don't understand or whatever. But I think Valis from the young reader's book, The Two Princesses of Bemer by Gail Carson Levine, is probably the one that I would choose. And that's because you get to see a lot of interaction between the main character Addie and Valis, and she has a lot of really cool, insightful conversations with Addie that sort of make Addie internally think about herself. And she also exchanges gifts for stories, and these gifts for Addie in exchange for these stories are always really, really clever, really cool. So I think Valis, just because we had time to get to know her, and I think that really says a lot. That's definitely a book that's stuck in my head for a really long time because of the dragon. Question number 5, what is your favorite fantasy movie? This is not tough at all. It's Lord of the Rings. There's really no explanation for that. It's Lord of the Rings. I've never seen one as good as Lord of the Rings, so. Question number 6, if you could pull any character out of a fantasy book or series, who would it be? The stipulation for this is that they would be pulled out of their own world. And I would say the Witch Queen Empress from The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis, which is part of Narnia, the Chronicles of Narnia. And that's because I feel like I could use someone who could destroy worlds, and we can lavishly bathe in all of our war spoils. And yeah, it's a really dark character, but she's someone who was always kind of one of my favorite elements of the Chronicles of Narnia, and it's because she's just so absurdly, unnecessarily evil. And so I think we could have fun with each other for a while. Plus, that world doesn't really need her, you know? She sucked for that world. She was cool here, so. And the final question, question number 7. If you could make a supporting character from any fantasy series, the main character of that series, who would you choose and why? And my answer is Neville Longbottom. And that's because I feel like with as many similarities as people have pointed out Harry and Neville have, it's also just as obvious that they have many differences. And I think if Neville had been in Harry's place, we would have gotten a completely different story. And that doesn't mean it would be better, but it also doesn't mean it would be worse. But I do always wonder what it would have been like if he would have been the boy who lived. Yeah, I think Neville would be a really valuable frontline character because his differences that he struggles with are different than the differences that Harry has in his world. Mostly stemming from being an outcast because of the way he looks, because of the way he acts, because of his mannerisms. And he has a different kind of lack of normalcy than Harry. And so I think that was a really cool question, and I think I would love to see Neville Longbottom at the forefront of the Harry Potter series, which I guess would be the Neville Longbottom series, but yeah. So that was a fantasy fun tag. It was a quick one, but I thought it would be a really cute little thing to do, and it's more specific to my channel than the booktube newbie tag one was. That one was a little bit more broad, and I do hope to find any sci-fi tags out there because I would love to do a sci-fi one. I'm currently in a sci-fi phase, so I would love to see it. Also, I'm going to throw in a little mini book haul right now that I got today at a local bookstore, which is awesome. First book I got, I'm rereading the book that I told you about, The Two Princesses of Bel-Air with the Dragon Volus. I found a hardcover one there, which is amazing because even my copy from 6th grade was a mass market paperback, so it was, it was worn out, it was tired. I don't have it in this state anymore, so finding it in hardcover was like, oh. I'm also going to be reading Red Shirts by John Scalzi. I've heard amazing things about this. Obviously, this is a Hugo Award winner, so it has to be good, I guess. But it's a comedy kind of centering around the red shirts from Star Trek that we see, who are just kind of in the background and are just there to die. So it's kind of a comedic thing from their viewpoint, so I'm really excited to read this one. And I've been wanting to step into John Scalzi books anyway because I'd heard great things about Old Man's War, and I wanted to read that one, but I'm just not ready to take on another on top of all of my other sci-fi series that I'm doing, so I think it'll be nice to have a fun little comedy one. And then the last book I got was The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick. I've only heard great things about this one. In this house, we love anything involving World War II and killing Nazis, so I think this one will be a good one for us. A booktuber that I recently found, he'll be linked down below. He did a fantastic list of his favorite sci-fi books. I think he's actually done 4 lists of his favorite sci-fi books. And he included this one, and I had completely forgotten that it wasn't just a TV show, it was also a book. So, yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. This is another Hugo Award winner, so I guess I'm just stacking up on those. So please have a conversation with me about anything that we talked about today. You can meet me at my Twitter, you can meet me at my Instagram, or you can comment down below. You can also message me on my Goodreads, which will be linked in my thing down there. And yeah, I look forward to having a conversation with you, and I'll see you again later this week.